Yo, and welcome back to another mod showcase on World of Forge Mods, your #1 place to get your mod updates and mod showcases here on YouTube. Today guys, we are looking at a really special mod, and it is Building Gadgets by none other than DireWolf20. If you don't know who DireWolf20 is, what closet have you been living in for the last number of years? He is one of the top Minecraft YouTubers, and he is one of my favorites. And a big shout out to DireWolf20 for this mod. It is a really fantastic mod, and if you're into building, then this is certainly a great mod for you. Anyway, let's get straight into this, guys, and let's see what this mod is about. Right, so behind me here I have some crafting stations, and in each one of these we've got 4 components. And this one we've got a building gadget. The one over here we've got an exchanging gadget, a charging station, and construction block powder. This mod does have a few more components other than this, but these are the ones that I'm going to focus on mainly. In here then I also have some blocks, I have a pickaxe, and I also have some coal and some construction paste, which I'm going to get onto later. Anyway, let me bring these into my inventory right about now. And the coal I'm going to need also. The building gadget is going to be our main component for building with this mod. So let me get this, and this is the recipe for this. It's 4 iron, 2 diamonds, 2 redstone, and 1 lapis, and that gives us a building gadget. So I'm going to take that now. The next thing we're going to have is the exchanging gadget, and again, very similar, 2 diamonds, 4 iron, 2 lapis this time, and 1 redstone gives us an exchanging gadget. So I will take that. Charging station, neither of these work. As you can see, there's a black bar at the bottom here, and these need to be charged, hence why I have the coal. And this is with 4 gold, 2 redstone, 2 diamonds, and 1 lapis. And then at the very end here, I'm going to leave that, because right now we're going to charge up these items. So I need to put in my coal first. This stores up to 1 million energy. You can see the coal is going down here. As soon as I pop in one of these items here, then that's going to take some of the charge, and it's going to put a charge into the gadget. So let me put in the building gadget first. You can see there's a nice little graphic here. You can see it's changing from red to yellow to green, and that shows you that it's taking charge. This has now got a full amount of charge at 500,000 energy. It was that quick. It doesn't take a long time at all. And I'm going to do exactly the same here with the exchanging gadget. And you can see that this is also changing from red into green. And once that is green, you can then take it out. It has got fully charged once it's got green, and it's nearly there. Boop. Done. So that is the charging station, and you can see it continues to store energy here, and you can keep putting coal in here, and this will go up to 1 million. So if you ever need to charge your building gadget, then you can do that. Right, enough about me talking, and let me show you exactly what this does. To access the GUI for this, you need to press G. It's going to give you this circular GUI here with all of these icons, and it'll show you how you can build and in what format. So you've got the stairs, you've got a horizontal wall, you've got a vertical wall, a horizontal column, a vertical column, and a build to me function. You can also do a surface and also a grid. You've also got down here a range, and you can increase this all the way up to 15. You've also got some shortcut keys, which will also change that for you. I've bound mine to my right numpad, but if you want to remain with the GUI, you can, and I think it's very handy. You just keep G pressed and move this up along. You've got an undo button, you've also got an anchor, you've got a mirror, and you've got a rotate. Everything that you'll need for this is in here. So what we need to do first is we need to select what we're going to build. So I'm going to select a stairs to start with. To do that, you just need to press G to hold up your GUI, select on whichever one. You'll hear a little boop boop, and once that's selected, and I'm going to change my range here to maybe 5. Okay, we then need to select the block. And as you can see, I have a number of blocks here in my inventory, but we need to select one first, and I'm going to go shift, right click on the block, and then it tells me that I'm holding a stairs. And as you can see, it's opaque. But if I right click on here, it's going to take the blocks from my inventory and going to give a really nice effect there when it is rendering. And you can see it's built stairs. I can also change that to a horizontal column. As you can see, when I point at a wall, it points in the opposite direction. Now I can increase that using the GUI, which is very handy. There's also a build to me function, which is very handy. So this does the opposite. When I'm looking at the wall, it points in that way. But I also want to move back here. You see, it moves towards me. So this is the build to me function. And that's pretty cool. It goes out, I think it goes out to 15 blocks. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you can do this at all of the different levels. This all depends on how far you are away from the block. For the horizontal blocks or the vertical columns though, the range does matter. So let's put this at 1 and you can see it's 1 block. We change this up to 10 and you can see it goes up to 10 blocks. And right click, rendered, done. We can select any block we want. So I've got this yellow one here. I can place that next to it. There we go. Simple as that. We can also do this for then, let's say, doing a surface. As you can see here in the middle, it's got the yellow, and then in the outline it's got this kind of orangey. That means I don't have enough blocks for this. I could reduce this down in size until I have enough blocks. Or I can go over here and pick a different block, which I know I've got more of, and increase the size again. As you can see, I'm still running out. It will build the blocks that I have. So let's do that here. You can see it'll build the blocks I have, and I would just need to put in the extra blocks over here. Then I just ran out of blocks in my inventory. Simple as that. I want to show you this construction block powder. And this is made with lapis, clay, and sand. And it gives you 1 block of construction block powder. So we take that into our inventory there. I've got 64 blocks. And what we need to do then is put it into water, and it's going to change from the construction block powder into this hardened block, and then we're going to break that up, and that's going to give us construction paste. Now I have some construction paste down here, so I'm going to take that into my inventory. So what does construction paste do? Well, let me get rid of my inventory here first, okay? Let me get rid of all of these blocks because I don't want them. I just want to show you exactly what this does. So we've got no blocks in our inventory. I'm going to take this blue block here. Someone's going to probably tell me that that's turquoise. I'm going to reduce this down here so that I'm not using all of the blocks. Now I've no blocks in my inventory. I'm going to right click and my construction paste went down. It mimics the block that you've selected and builds it using construction paste, and this can be used for many different types of blocks. So for example, over here, this block, which is from the Silent Gems mod, I can right click on this, and you can see it starts to transform and then turns into the block. Now, one thing you must know, when you break it, so this is obviously a nether ore block, it's a gem type block, but when I break it, I don't get the gems from it. I get the original block. It's an aesthetic block only, and that means that you're going to get construction paste back once you've broken the block. However, and this is a really cool thing, it does act like the block that it was supposed to be. What do I mean by that? Well, let me go up here to a flower, and let me click that. You can see here I've got my flowers. And I'm going to right click, and it's going to, you can see there's light blocks, and then it turns into the flowers. But when I walk through them, they act like flowers. So some things act like the block that they are replicating. However, they don't do things like dropping the ores. They just, when you break them, they turn back into the construction paste. That goes as exactly the same for the flowers. It turns back into construction paste. This works for as well for stairs, steps, slabs. So they act like how they are, except not when you're breaking them. I hope that makes sense. I hope I've explained that well. So the construction blocks, you need to have them touching water, and then they will turn into those hardened construction blocks, and then you can break them, and that gives you construction paste. There's one last thing I need to show you with this mod. There's a few other things in this mod. However, I'm not going to go into those. There are a few other tools in here, like the Exchanging Gadget. However, there is a warning here that this tool voids blocks. I would only use this if you've made a huge faux pas when coming to construction. You also have these paste containers, and you have them from iron, gold, diamond, and also up to this creative paste container, which is obviously an infinite if you're in creative. You've also then got these templates, which can be like taking a schematic and replicating what you have built. So the last thing I want to show you is this Exchanging Gadget, and this is a really cool tool. So let me pick something here. Let me pick one of these blocks. Let me take this nether brick. I'm going to right click on that, And now I'm going to change this block into that. And you can see when it renders through. So this block is now, as you can see, they're changing to the nether bricks, which is absolutely friggin' awesome. Now, if I break them, it goes back to construction paste. However, I didn't build these with construction paste in the beginning, so we can also exchange things like flowers, which is kind of crazy. So that flower is now going to turn into one of those blocks. We can also do that for shift, and we're going to go over here, and you can see it's going to turn into the flower. That's just absolutely awesome. But what a wonderful mod by DireWolf20. Really useful. If you're wondering how this exchanging could really work for you, well, think of this. If you've built a construction and you're not happy with how it's looked, or if you ran out of items that you wanted to build with. So for example, maybe you were doing a quartz building, but then you ran out of quartz and you decided to finish it off with cobblestone. You could later change it so that the cobblestone turns into quartz. Even something like chiseled quartz or pillared quartz. So that could be really helpful. This mod would have been so useful when I was building this room, my auto storage room. And look at this. It's nearly all chiseled quartz. And how long this took me between doing the auto sorting and the actual room, it took me over 3 days to build. And it would have taken me so much less time with the Building Gadgets mod from DireWolf20. So DireWolf20, thank you so much for this mod, because it's going to help me with so many future builds. Pity I didn't find it sooner, but I have found it now. Guys, this mod is available for 1.14.4. It's a really great mod. If you haven't checked it out before, you should. Download link in the description of this video, obviously. There will also be a link to DireWolf20's YouTube channel. I would suggest, if you haven't heard of DireWolf20, I don't know what closet you've been living in. And if you haven't subscribed to DireWolf20, then I suggest you go and subscribe to him right now. Anyway, that's it for me in this mod showcase in World of Forge Mods. I am Isel. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye, guys.